Ik ben Nikie en nou ja, ik laat me eigenlijk een beetje verrassen vandaag. En, ik wil wel mijn lange haren houden.
Ja.
En het liefste blond.
Okay. Nikie wants a new color, fresh blonde, because we're going into springtime. She wants to stay in long hair because she loves her long hair and it suits her very well. So she will be getting more layers and she will get a thermic haircut. And she will turn around to show you how her hair is now. Johan, want je dat aan je? And as you see, we're not in the studio, we're in my salon, so we have it all alone, so we're going to make this video here. Hello friends on YouTube, gonna do Nikie's hair. Now she has a lot of hair, so sitting in the salon, so we're working here. There's nobody around, so you can see the salon also at one time, because I'm not gonna make a lot of videos here. And I start with coloring her hair, because then I can see the damage on the hair and do the thermal cut afterwards. So starting with coloring. I'm pinning up her hair. Do this with chopsticks. And putting on the protection, of course. And in the coloring I'm gonna make her, because she likes light color blonde, I'm gonna use also a protection system, so we have the best end result afterwards. And no damage at the hairs, because that's the most important thing. Always quality of hairs is the most important thing. For me as a hairdresser. My world famous plastic foil. This is only to protect the cape from the coloring. Gonna make her a color. Okay, made the color. Made it with 40 volume. And applying it first on the outgrow. Then I take my chopsticks, take about a centimeter hair, lay to the other side. And after I do the outgrow, I take an extra conditioner into the product for the length of the hairs. So I get still a little bit more nursing and a better condition afterwards. And so I do all her hair. Now I have all the product on her hair. It took about 50 minutes to bring it on. It's over total hair. The conditioner reduces the ammonia and all the hard products into the hair products. This I close up. I have to use 2 foils because this much hair is a lot of weight. So I put 2 over it. Then I'm gonna heat it. So I use some warming. And then in medium range, so not the warmest. You see she has a lot of hair. Gonna wait for 50 minutes because that's the total length the product can be on the hair, and it's the lightest effect. And it's a nice golden natural color. So we'll be back. Ready with coloring. Now she has a nice golden color. The hair is still very wet, so I push a little bit of the water out. Otherwise she can swim in her own hair. And I take my chopsticks. I'm gonna do this hair bending over. So start in the center of the skull till behind the ears. And this will be my first part of the haircut. Pin the hairs on the back together. Set it with the chopstick. Comb the hairs to the front. Can feel where the dry ends are. I'm gonna make some layering. Knowing that she loves long hair. And the longest hair is always from the back, it's laying around here. So I'm going to work in a line like that, so I get more layering in it. Start in the front, watch at the front, go in where I think I can go in, and point my scissor into the underlines. go to the line where it ended, go in, and again point to the on the line. Come to the last part, go back to where it ended. So now I know for certain that I have the longest length. I'll bend the hairs a bit to the side and I give it some effect on the front. Not too much, but just to give it some hair. So I slice on the last 10 centimeters, about 3 inches. The only thing I have to be aware of is there's a wire on it, so don't cut the wire. Take the hairs to the other side. Go in again. Point with my scissor to the underlines. I feel there's a lot of weight on this part. Always, one part is always more than the other. In her case, the right side has more hair than the left side. And I can feel the dry ends getting off. Go back to the first part. Told you this is the thickest part. So I go in, again slice on the last 10 centimeters and correct the line. The nice thing is when you do this bending to the front, you get the most natural lines. And now you see I have a wonderful line to work with. Take the hairs over from the fold of the skull to the other side. Go in and give it some extra slice techniques in the opposite lines. Not too much, just a little bit. And do this also on the other side. Go to the fold of the skull, go in the opposite lines, lay the hairs down, and give it some soft slice techniques. Lay the hairs in the natural fold. Give slight corrections to the line. Now take a new part on it. Take all the hair from the fold of the skull on the back of the head. And point to the gap on the ears. Lay this to the front and brush it. Here, leave your garden brush. And now I take all the hairs to the center line. And I told you I work from the ear to the ear. And lay this on the line of cutting. Comb the hairs. Start in the center line, knowing where my line is, and go in and give it some rough effect. And being aware of my wire, of course. When I cut this, I don't have hot scissors anymore. Then go back to the first line, go in, and slide down. Take it over on the center line, so watch at the center of her skull. And she has very thick hair, so you can feel the thickness of her hair. To the other side. Have my guideline. Did it in the center line. Lay the hairs on the line Go again to the center of the skull and go down. Iemand met een echt best nog gehoord worden. Go from the front of the skull in opposite lines and go in with some slice techniques. They will only lay on top. And slicing with a hot tool you do by softly closing your scissor. And the nice thing of cutting in layers is that the hair looks longer afterwards. Go in the opposite lines. Pull the hairs over. Go in. Give it the slice technique. And connect the sides to each other. So T.K.S from the holy bone onto the center line. Go in. Get out the line. Do the same on this side. Pull them over. Go in the opposite lines and connect them. Now I have got a lot of layering in it. To show you that my lady has, like before, watch at the natural lines. You can see this it's a little bit longer, so correct this line a bit. It's normal because one part of the implant is more to the front than the other one, so it's always natural that you have a difference between the left and the right side. So now I can go to the back. So I part both front lines with the chopstick. That is real heavy to hold on. So now I can come to the back. Turn. You see the parting line laying from ear to ear. That I need. Starting in the sides, stay away about 3 centimeters from the ears. And part the midsection. Twist it a bit and lay it to the top. Knowing the angles where I worked in, I take always the natural lines of the skull lines. So I go in, go to the sides, and go deep in. So you see almost all the length. The lady has in a natural, nice falling line. And do this of course on both sides. Take the hairs up. Get a little fight with no wire. Watch at the skull lines, knowing where to go in, travel down. Get the hairs up again. The hairs are in real good condition now. Lay them on the back. watch at the lines and correct the lines in the freehand style. So now I'm certain that I have cut all the lengths, all the different lengths, but also all the hairs. Go to the midsection. Break on the hairs. Take about a centimeter more than I did when I went to the left. Go in. Go stand on the side. Go in and go down. Controlled cutting. So take the hairs between my fingers. Hold my palm in the position that I need it. And go to the midsection. Again, take the hairs to the side. Watch at my card line. Go in and go down. Controlled again. Take a part of this section onto the other side, so I have a guideline. First, take again 2 centimeters more than a part the first time. Go over. Go stand on the side, go down. Now I take apart the other side with it, so I'm certain that I have a guide also on this side. Here's my guide. Lay the hairs on the back. Come in the right position. Everything out. Go to my controlled cutting. Correct the line a bit. Go to my brush. Control the line again. And I've also lost all the ultra light ends that are really dry. Not that dry anymore because I put a deconditioner into the products. To give it some extra effect, I take a small angle in the center line. Turn so you can see it a bit better. Take a small section in the center line, twist it, and give it some playable effect by just a little bit scrunching. Takes a bit away the weight of the center line, and it gives also a playable effect with some more layering. Open the pins. You can see how wonderful gold colors are. Lay all the hairs on the line. Brush this with the Olivier Garden brush. And now I have the underline laying here, and I have to lay a line on top of it. So I have to correct this line and lay it on the same line. So I go on my knees, ask up about the head a bit to the front, not too far. Gently comb the hairs down. I do this because then the upper lines are certainly longer than the under lines. And give it a slight run. So I have a much nicer fall through the hairs. The nice thing of cutting with this scissor is that you don't need the haircut for more than 6 months. So after the summer, I can cut hair again. Go again to the center line. Take a new angle in the opposite lines. Only on top. Pull it to the back. Twist it a bit. And also on this line, I give a little bit slice techniques, not too much, just to give it a bit flavor effect. Because I want to have the thickness. So I have some soft layering, but she has beautiful hair, so I can make it real wavy and real curly. So now the cut is done, so now I can dry her hair. What I use now is Divine. It's a curly product of Glint. Apply this in the hairs, massage it into the roots. I'm going to dry this with a diffuser, because then you can see how wonderful wavy your hair is. First part, from the center of the skull to the front. So I have not all the hairs laying on the back. Take an ultra large diffuser, put the lid on, now go to the front, turn around, ask her to bend to the front again, lay all the hairs to the front. So far blow drying. Now I just go for a nice oil of Lanza. Golden oil of Lanza. Apply this first all over my hands, otherwise it's too much oil. And gently massage it into the hairs. And it's a shame that it doesn't come with smell, because this oil really smells nice. And it nurses the hairs because it's healing oil. So the rest I put on my hands, because my hands are real nice, soft and warm. I always find it a shame that I have to wash off this oil. Lekker warm, hè? Yeah. Now this is Nikie's new hairstyle, new color. I thank her for being my model. I put the camera nearby so you can see what I did. This was also in my salon, so that's why it's a little bit different. She shows a new color, new hairstyle, and I see you next time. Bye bye. Nikie, you moet turn around to show the end result. And how does your hair feel?
Soft.
Yeah. And sexy?
Sexy.
Thank you very much.
Ik ben Nikie en nou ja, ik laat me eigenlijk een beetje verrassen vandaag. En, ik wil wel mijn lange haren houden.
Yeah.
En het liefste blond.
Okay. Nikie wants a new color, fresh blonde, because we're going into springtime. She wants to stay in long hair because she loves her long hair and it suits her very well. So she will be getting more layers and she will get a thermic haircut. And she will turn around to show you how her hair is now. You want to dat aan je? And as you see, we're not in the studio, we're in my salon, so we have it all alone. So we're going to make this video here.